The FNAF series is not exactly known for being a realistic game or having a story that is 100% canon and mistake-free. For years, we had many questions. Many of us thought they had no answer or were just part of the game. However, in this video, we are going to answer most of the questions we all had playing this games, such as, why did the animatronics leave your door and go back to the stage on their own instead of staying there until they kill you? Or who really killed Phone Guy on night 4, and what did Fazbear do with his body afterward? Or what really happened to the bodies of the 5 children that were never found? For 11 years, we thought these were just plot holes, things Scott Cawthon forgot to explain. But no, every single one of these questions has a real answer hidden in books and games that almost nobody connects with each other. And I'm warning you now, the last one will completely change how you see the whole series. Why do the animatronics always go back to the stage instead of waiting at your door? Think about it for a second. A 1-ton animatronic is standing right outside your door. The logical thing would be to just stand there and wait for you to run out of power. Why does it leave? The easy answer would be, it's just a game, don't overthink it. But there is a real reason, and it has to do with something Fazbear never told its workers. In Security Breach, when you try to escape with Freddy, he tells you himself that he can't go past a certain point. His system will shut down as a safety measure. Animatronics have limited battery life on purpose, and the book The Week Before confirms this. The main stage has metal plates that charge the animatronics when they stand on them. Every time they go back to the show, they are recharging. So if they don't go back to the stage, they run out of power. Fazbear designed it this way because they knew, even before the pizzeria opened, that these things are dangerous and they needed a way to control them. In the book, Phone Guy even finds out they were stealing power from the building to overload those plates so the animatronics would have more battery to attack at night. And this explains a lot, like why Freddy attacks more on the last nights, or why Foxy attacks less in general. It is all about how they use power. In other words, this is the first clue that Fazbear knew exactly what they were dealing with, but they opened the doors anyway. Why do the doors use power when they are closed? Since we are talking about power, there's something that never made sense. If there is no power, a heavy door should drop down on its own, right? So why does it cost battery to keep it closed instead of open? For years, this was one of the biggest logic flaws in the series, but the fans found the answer thanks to a recent game, Secret of the Mimic. That game confirms these doors work with counterweights. Their natural position, the one they keep when there is no power, is open. The electrical current is what forces them to close. Why design them like that? For fire safety. If there is an emergency, the doors won't lock and people can escape. Something we saw goes very wrong in FNAF 6 when that fails. And this fits perfectly with the era. The 1970s and 80s used this exact mechanism for heavy industrial doors. Exactly the kind you need to stop a 1-ton animatronic from breaking in. It's funny, right? In a game where nothing makes sense, we found the only machine that actually does. Fazbear accidentally built a building with better fire safety rules than safety rules for the monsters they put inside. Why do the guards keep coming back, knowing the animatronics want to kill them? Now for the question that truly makes no sense. If you know something wants to kill you, why do you go back the next day? For years, people brushed this off by saying, it's just a job, don't look into it. But the book The Week Before reveals something that changes everything. The animatronics don't just cause hallucinations, they also control people's emotions and memories. During the night, Phone Guy knows perfectly well that they want to kill him, that Fazbear will hide his body if he dies, and that he should leave and never come back. But the moment he steps outside, all of that disappears. He gets home, and without knowing why, he feels excited to go back to work the next night. It's only when he steps back into the office that this fake emotion turns off, and his mind tells him he belongs there. There is a line in the book that sums this up perfectly. When you step out into the sunlight, your memories of the night fade away. When you are at home, you question everything that happened, and you always come to the same conclusion. You imagined it. It wasn't that bad after all. You are alive. And there is something even more creepy. One night in the book, Phone Guy finds a room full of human blood. He cleans it up. The next day, he doesn't even remember it happened. In another ending of the series, a day guard finds the same blood and just complains that nobody cleaned up without thinking much of it. The animatronics don't just hunt you at night. They edit your brain so you never stop coming back. Who killed Phone Guy, and what happened to his body? This brings us straight to one of the most famous questions in the whole series. In the Night 4 recording of FNAF 1, Phone Guy gets caught by the animatronics. The tape cuts off. We never knew who killed him or what happened to his body. Thanks to the week before, now we have the answer. It wasn't just one. All the animatronics trapped him at the same time. When the power went out, they jumped on him. And when he wakes up, he is stuffed inside an animatronic suit in the parts room, saying something creepy. Something smells bad. It's me. That's where the book ends, but Mike Schmidt's fired notice lists 2 reasons: tampering with the animatronics and odor. Putting it all together, Fazbear finds Phone Guy's body hidden inside a suit. Mike, after listening to that tape, goes to look for him, messing with the animatronics along the way. Fazbear catches him, and instead of admitting what happened, they fire him. They use 2 excuses that they caused themselves: the bad smell, which was actually the rotting body inside the animatronic, and tampering, which was Mike just trying to find the truth. Where was Puppet during FNAF 1? Puppet is in FNAF 2, which takes place before FNAF 1, so logically it should still be in the building during the first game, but it doesn't show up anywhere on the map. It doesn't even appear in the book the week before. The only clue we have is a FNAF 2 minigame where Puppet watches us, seemingly from inside Freddy on the main stage of the original building. And here is the fact that almost nobody connects. In the book, Phone Guy mentions passing by a prize box at the prize counter of the building. That might sound like nothing, but in FNAF 2, Puppet lives exactly there, inside a box at the prize counter. It's the exact same place where Charlie dies in the minigame, and the same place where Puppet always appears. On the FNAF 1 map we play, we never see that prize counter. Pages might say the map is wrong or that there is a random secret room, but the most likely answer is that there is a blind spot off camera where that counter exists. That's where Puppet has been this whole time, watching everything, without any camera ever catching it. Why is Foxy always out of order? Another question Phone Guy never really answers well in the original game. What's wrong with Foxy? But again, the book fills the gap with 2 reasons that are actually just 1. First, the book directly describes Foxy as terrifying. He has a dropped jaw with scary teeth and a sharp silver hook where his hand should be. It literally says the most likely reason he is out of order is that his design is just too scary, even if he never actually bit a child. Second, and this is key, in the book, you can freeze him with a flashlight. This is the exact same glitch Foxy has in FNAF 2, where bright lights restart his system. An animatronic with sharp claws that can short circuit just by shining a light at it, working near kids, you don't need to guess why they hid him behind a curtain. And this takes us to the next point. Why is Foxy so broken compared to the others? We already know why they turned him off, but that doesn't explain why he looks so broken on the outside, way more than the others. The most popular fan theory is this: Foxy has a feature that no other classic animatronic has. He can run. It's part of his programming, meant for playing hide and seek with the kids, as we see in the Foxy Go 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 minigame. The problem is that every version of Foxy, the one in FNAF 1, FNAF 2, and Sister Location, shares that same flashlight glitch. So, if you combine running with suddenly shutting down because of a light, the result is an animatronic falling flat on its face while running, over and over again. And why didn't they ever fix him, inside or out? Because in FNAF 1, the pizzeria is basically closing down. It's dirty, abandoned, and they have no money to fix anything. In FNAF 2, Phone Guy straight up says the withered animatronics are too ugly and it's not worth fixing them. They are just used for parts. And in Sister Location, Funtime Foxy never even got to show the glitch because the place closed on its very first day due to a gas leak. Fazbear had the chance to fix this in 3 different locations. They never did it once. What really happened to the children's bodies? And now, everything we've been building up comes together right here. We know 5 children were reported missing. We know their bodies were never officially found. We know their souls ended up trapped inside the classic animatronics. But before getting to the FNAF 1 location, those same animatronics existed as the withered versions in FNAF 2. This means that, at that time, the bodies were still inside them. So, who saw them? What happened to them? In FNAF 2, Phone Guy mentions something that sounds like a casual comment, but it isn't. When they were about to install the new facial recognition technology into the withered animatronics, they suddenly decided not to, because they had a bad smell. He says it so lightly, like it's the most normal thing to tell a night guard. But think about it. To install that technology, they had to take them apart. And when they took them apart, the technicians found what was actually causing that smell. This explains something that always looked weird. The damage on the withered animatronics doesn't look like normal wear and tear. It looks forced with tools. Chica and Foxy's jaws are stretched wide open, as if someone forced them to pull something out from inside. Bonnie is completely missing the front of his face because they didn't even need to force his jaw open. The technicians broke the animatronics to pull out the bodies of the children that had been rotting inside for years. And to make sure nobody talked, Fazbear did what they do best. They hid it. In the employee contracts, and Phone Guy says this word for word in the game, there is a rule stating that if a worker finds a body, instead of calling the police, they just fill out a simple missing person report. That's it. No investigation, no drama. And watch out, this isn't the only time they use this power. In FNAF 6, they straight up threaten to fire you and send you to an asylum just for seeing something you shouldn't, or ban you from every job in town. In this universe, Fazbear isn't just a messy company. They have the legal and social power to erase anything. Where the bodies are is still a mystery. There are some guesses, but nothing is official. The biggest theory says Fazbear buried them under a new pizzeria. One thing is for sure, we will probably never know. If this blew your mind, leave a comment telling me which of these facts you didn't know and get a shout out in the next video.